Okay, I seem to be live. It usually has a delay of like 12-15 seconds. Can you refresh the page? Ну, на YouTube в эфире. А здесь просто кто-то мастерски сделал лендинг с неправильной ссылкой, судя по всему. И это очень здорово. Serpstat EN. I've added the link to the comments on the landing page. So try that. So that link works in the comments, not on the landing page itself. That's on a landing page. Okay, good. Great. We're done, I guess, because it says 2 people are watching, and that will be you and me because I have it opened in the next window. Scrum. Она там была типа подготовлена, типа вот запланирована, я нажал просто запустить. Нет, не работает. Сейчас я, может, здесь в настройках внутри YouTube что-то. Открытый доступ я сейчас сделаю и нажму опубликовать. Лата уехал. Даже если он у него есть. Oh, someone's watching. Hey, Kelly Worth. Yeah. Apparently we have a problem with a landing page. Someone put in the wrong link. So it's not going to be too many people watching, but I'll show everything anyways. And then we'll send out links to people who want to see it afterwards. So today I will show you some things about API, how to start using it, how it works, and what you can do with it. And I will also share some cool things with you that you can already use and just by copying and pasting your API code. So let's jump in. Most of the time I'll be sharing my screen, and I will also have also be jumping to the comment section on YouTube every once in a while to see what questions you might have as we go. But don't mind if I don't do that too often or forget about that. At the end of the video, I will anyways open up the comment section to see what you were asking and everything. So you'll have any questions along the way, just type them in and I'll get to those sooner or later, okay? Okay, great. So now let me share my screen with you and I will show you where to start with using Serpstat API, what it can do and what you can do with it, okay? Cool, so sharing my screen like this. It should be there. Okay, great. So I myself, I'm a relatively new person to using API. I'm not a professional, I'm not a programmer. I didn't have any previous experience with it. I did have a short training that I did myself. I just read the manual, asked some questions, tried some things, and figured that it's not that complicated. So all you have to do is just start with going to the bottom of any page, to the footer, and find this link that says Serpstat API. And this page, it has basically all information you need to know about using the API. So let me show you first how to do the basic request to our API, how it works, and what you can do with it, and where to start. So to start, you have to go to your profile first to get your API token. So here's my token. You can try copying it, but I will change it anyways, so it won't work. You can just click copy and it's in your buffer. The token, it tells us that you are a registered user and you have paid for API and you have limits, so we can verify it. It's basically like your pass to use our API. So let's do this and go back to trying and use our API to make a simple request first, okay? So how to get a token, I have already shown you. Request parameters. It explains to you what every single thing in this line means. So this line is your API request. You can just paste it into your browser and it will just work, okay? So this first part is just telling the browser which browser or program that you're using the API within. It just tells which API you're using it, where the request will go. Basically like addressing the website. V3 stands for version 3 of our API, so this link is doesn't change for anything. Next thing is API method. This is basically what request you are making. Let me find these things somewhere around here. So domain info is an API method. It shows you information about domain. The same thing you see when you type in domain name into Serpstat regularly, and you see that this domain ranks for 537,000 keywords. It has a visibility score up to 2400 and so on and so forth. But it just looks like this in a text form without the formatting that we have on our website. To put it into perspective, what I'm talking about here is this. So what I'm doing here is I'm making basically an API request similar to that one I just shown you. I have typed in Serpstat, I have chosen the search engine of google.com, and I decided to take a look at general information about domain. So overview, domain info in general. Okay, let's go back to it. So domain info is the method we're using. There are different methods. You can see them all here on the page about API requests. For example, you can go to keywords and see what you can do with that. For example, you can go to keyword overview and get the same information like we just did for domain, but for a keyword. It's search volume, is competition in words, what results coming up in SERPs, are there any special elements. Basically, API gives you raw data of what you see in Serpstat as a regular user. I hope that is clear. Okay, great. So let's get back to making our report in getting started section. So we have API method. I've shown you the one with domain info. So in here, you type one of these things I've shown you just now for keyword and so on and so forth. Next, you make your request. If you request information about a domain, you enter your domain here. If you want information about a keyword, you enter a keyword. If you want information about the URL, you enter a URL. So this is basically what you type into the search bar of Serpstat. Next goes your token. I've shown you where to get that. And the last one is the search engine. Like you choose the search engine on the main page of Serpstat when you are making a request. Only here it's similar because it has flags and name of a country. In API, you have to use special commands. They are not that complicated. Google US is G_US. Google United Kingdom is G_UK, and so on and so forth. You don't have to memorize this because they are always in here on this page of serpstat.com/API. And you can always just copy and paste any request like this and change the parameters here if you don't want to make any mistakes. So this is the ready-to-use request example. Only the token here is not the working one. So you may want to go ahead and copy your own token from your profile page. Okay, so let's sum up the first simple request. You go to api.serpstat.com/v3. That's where your request starts. You specify which request you want to make. You want to get domain info, you want to get keyword suggestions, you want to get similar keywords, you want to get keywords that domain has lost since last update, or you want to get the list of keywords for which a certain URL ranks. You type it in here. The list of these methods is in here. The choose report you need. All of them you can find here. For example, what keywords the URL ranks for. The request looks like URL_keywords. So instead of typing in domain_info, you type in URL_keywords. Okay, great. So we have figured how to make the simplest request. Let me show you. Let me first check the YouTube page if you have any questions there. And I will show you how to make a request inside the well, basically inside the browser. Okay, so youtube.com API. I will show you the program that is called JSON formatter. Also, yeah. So the API requests and results are working in JSON format, or JSON as the creator insists to call that, but everyone still calls that format JSON. That format returns the results. Okay, yeah, to the questions. What's the advantage of using the API as opposed to using the visual interface, Kelly? So first advantage is API is faster. Based on your plan, you can make from 1 request per second to 10 requests per second. You don't waste your regular limits. So when you make a request, when you paid for Serpstat, there was a line that told you that you have like 10,000 keywords to analyze every month, and something like that. Yeah, let's see the plans in results. For example, here's the plan B: 4,000 queries per day, 15,000 results per report, and so on and so forth. And you have access to API here. Which means that you can use API without using these limits. You have different limits on API. I will have to see the account types in details. You can make 1 request per second, and you can make 100,000 requests per month to API. So if you ran out of your limits, you can go to API. Later in this video, I will share a file with you, which basically replicates the Serpstat in its whole in a Google spreadsheet. It's formatted quite nicely, so you can work with it without any problems. You can just type in a keyword and get the results on the same table. The second is the speed, so it's faster, like 1 request per second. You cannot do that with using the interface, right? And if you know a programmer who can set it up for you, you can upload a list of domains and get the reports for those domains like 1 per second. You cannot do that in an interface. The third is that you do not have this limit on the number of results per report. When you're making a request with an API, you specify how many results you want. You can limit it to 100 as it goes, like in Plan A, as not to waste your limits. But if you want to research a domain that has 70,000 keywords, but your regular plan limits you to 15,000, in API you can do that. You can just spend all 100,000 lines of API per month on one report. Just get all 100,000 keywords for that single domain. So these are the main benefits of using the API. If you're more proficient with programming and you know how Python works or how API works in general, and you're more familiar with it, which should happen as you go, we'll release more and more educational content on how to use API and share more scripts with you. You can create your own scripts. For example, something we don't have in the interface. I will show you later. One of our users, for example, created a script which finds relevant forums for him to post about his projects. So basically, his script combines the position of the domain for a keyword plus in title operator for the word forum, and it shows what keywords that forum thread ranks for. So he can just type in his own domain. Serpstat searches for which keywords this domain ranks for, and then it searches for which forum threads rank for these same keywords. And it shows you a list of forum threads where they rank and for which keyword. For example, if you're selling shoes, you can find forums where people discuss buying shoes, and it will show you this is a forum thread that ranks 17th for the keyword where to buy children's shoes. And you know that this forum is great for you. You can go there and reach out to your audience. So with API, you can create your own tools. Okay, great. So no more questions yet. I mean, still, where did I lost myself when I started answering the question? So I wanted to show you how the request looks like in report. That I will need to see if you can see my this search bar on the video that I'm showing here, that I'm broadcasting. Yes, you can. Great. So let's make a request in the browser and see how it looks like. For something more complicated than domain info, for example, we'll get a list of keywords. So again, I'm going to go ahead and copy my domain, my token. Then I'll go to Serpstat API. Come on. Okay. And I will copy a request yeah, let's just create one from scratch. I will show you how it works. So I want to do something with keywords. So I'll go ahead and take a keywords report, and I want to get the list of related keywords. So this is how it looks like. It already gives me a request example. Right? So I just have to replace the access here with my queries. For example, let's make one about solar panels. So the keyword will be solar panel. My token will be this. Right. And the search engine will be Google US, so G_US. Let's see if it works. It does. You see, it looks like a total mess. You cannot make any sense of it. So therefore, you think I'll just stick to using the interface because I can't make anything out of it. Let me show you programs that you can use to help you out with that problem. They're called JSON formatters. For example, here's one in autocomplete. You can just Google JSON formatter, and it will just do everything for you. I do not need this validation, so I can go ahead and copy this same request and paste it here and click process. As a result, I should get these same results in a more readable form. See, I have the keyword panel solo, I have the search volume, I have the cost per click, I have competition in words, and I can see that it doesn't include any toponyms in it. So it doesn't have solar panels New York or something like that. And it goes on for all of the related keywords I found. So in this format, you already have it as a code that you can apply to your program. There are a variety of JSON formatters. Some can just give you a list of keywords in a spreadsheet or something like that. So we go from this to this, which already is a huge change, right? Awesome. Okay, so we have created our simple request in the browser. You can go ahead and try and do it yourself with your own token and see if it works. If you see a mess like this, it means it worked for you. You have done everything correctly. You just cannot apply like this data to anything. But if you can browse it in here, you already can see the information. Okay, great. Now let me show you one cool thing that I created a few weeks ago, and no one have used it because we didn't actually promote it that well. Let me change my token just in case, so no one copies it and steals my limits, because I need them too. We have a thing called Serpstat Academy. The address is academy.serpstat.com, and it has a variety of courses on how to use Serpstat, and there are 2 courses for API. One is called API for Dummies, where I explain in text basically what I have just explained to you. What is an API? What are the benefits of API? Like how you can use the API, how to make your first API request, and the links to the resources you can read. For example, the Our API manual, and also the list of JSON formatters, and also this awesome SEO tools for Excel program, which allows you to get all of the data from API to spreadsheets inside this program. Then there's also announcement for the next course. And in that next course, which is more advanced, and by advanced I mean it's not more complicated, but it has more information you can apply and use. It has advanced API scripts and methods, part 1 it's called. And in here you can find the links. So I will send the links out in the email to everyone who subscribed for this webinar. But let me show you where you can find them yourself in case you lose that email or I don't know, don't receive that at all. So these scripts are created by our users and our team members. I given them credit here on the first lesson here. So the first one and the most useful, the one I mentioned before, is a Serpstat in a spreadsheet. It is actually a complete Serpstat engine inside one spreadsheet that you can go ahead and use once you run out of limits and get this same data. Only the difference will be it's inside a spreadsheet already, so you don't have to export anything. You can just copy and paste the columns, lists, and work with them. And it doesn't waste your regular limits. Okay, so let's do the mandatory YouTube comments check. See if someone has any questions, and then I'll show you how to use this Serpstat in a spreadsheet thing, and I will show you some other scripts that we have here. Okay, I'll have to go ahead and get my token again because I didn't copy it last time. Okay, so my token here. Copy. So to use this spreadsheet, you have to make a copy of it. So you cannot edit it. I made that on purpose. So you go ahead and click File and click Make a Copy. You can name it whatever you want, and you will have your own Serpstat in the spreadsheet file, which you can use to get results. Let's wait for it to load, and I will show you how to use it. So it's quite simple. The first list tells you that you have to paste your token here. Right, that's what I'm going to do. As soon as you do that, you can go ahead and access user stats. It's going to load up and it will show you how many API limits you have used and how many you can use still until the end of the month. So here it's loaded up and it shows me that I've used this many lines and I still have this many lines to use, and I can get this many lines per one report. Choosing the database here doesn't make any changes to the results because API limits are the same for all database across. And let me show you what it has here. So as I said, it has everything: the main overview, the main history for visibility, the main keywords, the main URLs, which ranks for a variety of keywords, URL keywords, keyword suggestions. So basically everything you can see on the main menu of Serpstat, the one you see on the left side inside our interface, you have in this list, except for backlinks, rank tracking, and site audit. So just the search analytics part. Every report is quite simple. For example, you want to get information on domain, you enter a domain here. Once you're done, it's going to load up automatically, and it's going to show you all of the information in here. It shows you that the domain has 245 new keywords. It has lost its position for 68 and completely lost 44 keywords, how many keywords are used in PPC, and so on and so forth. The keyword traffic, organic keywords, everything you see basically in Serpstat on the domain overview. It goes the same for every single page like this. So this is the main history of visibility. Again, you just enter a domain you want to analyze, you hit enter, and you wait for it to load up. It shouldn't take long. Boom, you have the history of visibility of how, the visibility graph you have in Serpstat on domain overview page. It's the same graph, but the visibility trend, but in the text form. So it goes like from 0.01 to 0.34. So this graph. Okay, great. So you can play with this file. Once you get a link to it, you can go ahead and already copy it from Serpstat Academy and just use it. It's quite simple, doesn't require anything. So now let me show you what other cool things we have here. So this is the basic script. Just replicate a Serpstat in a spreadsheet in case you ran out of limits or just don't feel like logging into Serpstat and just want to play in spreadsheets, or you know that you will have to export these results anyways, so you can just go ahead and copy them from this table and use them how you like. Cool. So the next awesome thing was created by one of our clients, the one I mentioned before. It's for collecting all of the relevant forms for your website. It has links, external links to that guy's website. He even created an interface for it. So it works in a similar fashion. You have to paste your token, you set up the domain, you choose the search engine, how many keywords from your domain you want to analyze, and so on and so forth. I will not run the script this time because it's, to be honest, a little slow. It will take 2 minutes to load up, and I don't want for you to sit for 2 minutes and wait for it to load up during the webinar. But you can find the link here and go ahead and use it. This guy, Dmitry Mazuryan, he created a few of scripts like that. So we have more scripts like how effective would it be to promote in a certain market and so on and so forth. I recommend reading up on this course about his scripts. You can actually contact him if you like, and he'll explain things to you. For example, here's the script on how to find keywords with zero competition in AdWords. You can go ahead and use it online, or he also shares the source code for every script he makes. This zero as in AdWords script, it finds keywords for which no one runs online advertising. A little note here is sometimes we do not detect if someone runs advertising because at the time when we check the keywords, the ad may not be active, or someone may be targeting a certain niche of people, like just people who are from certain city, and we not detect that. But anyways, it's a cool script that is an example of what you can create with Serpstat API just by using it. Next one is for collecting all of the relevant keywords in a single niche. This is also from one of our users, Ivan. It's an awesome script for it. It basically solves the problem that a lot of our users have. They sometimes address us and say, like, I want to combine all of the reports from like source suggestions, cluster research, keyword suggestions, and everything into like one list. What do I do? How can I do that? I'm tired of doing like this task and then that task and then that task again, and then repeating it for the similar keywords and so on. So this script, again, you have to make a copy of it. Let me show you how it works and what it does, because it's actually quite awesome, and definitely recommend using it for everyone who works with Serpstat to collect a bunch of keywords for their needs. Okay, so there is actually a page where everything is explained, how it works. Okay, yeah, I made a copy. Did I? No, I did not. File, make a copy. Okay, so once you made a copy, you can work with it. So he even created a pop-up which shows that you have to make a copy, which I just forgot. Let's say you have a list of pages you want to find keywords for. So you paste your list of URLs, and you also have some ideas for the keywords you want to expand on. So you want to analyze these pages for keywords, and you want to expand on this list of keywords. So as you can see, these pages are about ROI calculations, and the keywords are from the same topic. And here's the results we're getting. So you just enter this list of keywords, and you enter this list of URLs, and you set your parameters how you like. So you choose the search engine. Let me just do that in a separate. So you have to paste your token again. You choose your search engine. You choose. You can set up additional parameters for URLs, like for positions. You can change the connection strength. You can change the search volumes. Let's not do any of that yet, and just see what results we're getting from this script. So you have a list of keywords here about our return on investments. You have a list of keywords from missing URL feature. You have a list of keywords for each keyword from that list expanded by keyword suggestions. You have another one in here from autocomplete suggestions. You have a list of related keywords for every keyword from that initial list on the first page. And you have information on each keyword that you have entered, just in case. So by copying results from here, 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 and here, you are basically getting, if not all of the keywords related to this subject, but at least like a huge chunk of keywords related to the subject. So you no longer have to go and log into Serpstat and type in this keyword, then go into search suggestions, cluster research, autocomplete suggestions, copying everything into the table, then going and doing the same thing for this keyword, then for this keyword, and then for this keyword. You can just paste your list of keywords in here and get all of the results for each keyword from each report inside the table. Again, you can find the link to this script in our academy. It also has explanation on how to use it and how to set it up and everything, and what reports you get the data from. Okay, and the last script inside this academy is for finding drop domains or potential drops. It requires a little more work. I recommend reading up on it. What it does is it finds domains that have been dropped recently or can be dropped soon. So it combines few products. It looks up domain age and who is. It looks up if domain is parked or not. It looks up domain when the domain was registered and when it expires. So, for example, for future drops, it will tell you that like here's a list of domains which rank for your chosen niche, and these domains are expiring soon. So you may want to go ahead and check up on this, like this domain at 17th of July, this domain on 2nd of August, and see if it was abandoned. If it was, you can just buy that domain and use it for your private blog network or whatever. Because these domains that are found with this script, they are still ranking in search engines for the keywords you have chosen, or at least for related keywords. Okay, so we're done with the scripts for API. We have created a simple request. I have shown you how to use the JSON formatter. I have shown you where to find information about API inside Serpstat Academy. And I have shown you some cool scripts. Serpstat in a spreadsheet is my personal favorite because it's simple to work with and it's simple to understand. In the next webinars and videos, I will try to show you how to forward data from Serpstat to a spreadsheet, a different one, the custom made, how it works. It's a bit more complicated because it involves things like script editor in Google Docs. And to be honest, as I said before, I'm not that professional with programming or using the APIs. So like this at the moment, no, I'm lying. Like 2 days ago, all of this looked scary to me. I didn't understand what's going on, but I am educating myself on this subject right now, so I can share my findings with you when they're still fresh. So you will be learning in a way that I have learned everything. And it actually makes a lot of sense, and there's like nothing too complicated. You just paste a few lines of code in here to your Google Sheets, and it makes everything for you. I will also show you in the upcoming webinars how to use Serpstat API with Python. Our sales manager Andrei made some cool scripts which basically do kind of the same thing as Serpstat in a spreadsheet, but it's already in a programming language, so you can apply it in your own way. You can actually write an interface for it and create your own Serpstat if you like. You can hook it up with your own interface and put the name of your agency on top of that and share the reports with your clients, and they will see how professional and cool you are, because they can go in, type their own domain in your on like the link you provided. They will use up your API limits, but they will see their domain report inside your own created tool with your branding, which I think is like quite cool. I'll try to learn that as soon as possible to show you how it works and how it's done. So keep in touch for the upcoming webinars. Make sure to check out the Academy, the Serpstat Academy. It has way more than information about API. Some cool tricks on how to find long tail keywords, how to make cold pitch, where to find new features, main features, and basic information about keywords. So if you're lost at some time and place, the first thing you want to do is not go to Serpstat Academy, but to go to our support. Click here and start a new conversation with our support specialists. They reply fast. Their replies are always helpful. So if you have any problems at all, and even if you want help with API, first thing you have to do is click the chat button on any page on Serpstat and start a chat. Okay, so let me go back to sharing my face with you. Okay, yeah, here I'm back. And see if you have any questions about using the API, or if you have any questions that you want answered in the upcoming webinars on Serpstat. Okay, no questions so far. Thanks everyone for watching. Sorry about the problem with the landing page that we had a broken link there for some reason and couldn't fix it in time. But we'll send the link out to everyone, and you can share it with your friends. And the next webinar on API, I will recap everything I have told here, like in 10 minutes or so. I will share the links with everyone. I will show everyone how to use it, and we'll dive into the next realm of using API by creating your own scripts, by using API with programming language, with Python, and hopefully within a few webinars you'll be an API pro. For today, I recommend everyone go ahead and make like one simple request with your token to our API inside your browser or JSON formatter that I have shown you in this video. So thanks everyone for watching and have a great day. Send your questions into, you can contact me on my email. It's igor@serpstat.com. You can find us on social media. You can ask your questions to our support team. And I hope it was helpful. Have a great time. Bye.